Welcome back, Josie Sports Nation fans. It's your boy. If you haven't already, definitely hit that subscribe, hit the like. Also, hit that notification bell so you can see when my videos are coming out. What I want to talk about today is Stephen A. Smith being a clown. I used to like Stephen A. Smith when he first came out. I thought he was interesting. I fell into the trap of the yelling and the carrying on ESPN. I do miss the way ESPN used to be when I was a kid, growing up. Stuart Scott was the best African American commentator, if you will, on that show. He's the legend. He came up with sayings. He made you want to watch the same instant replay over and over and over again. Stephen A. Smith, what I noticed about him over the years is he's a pawn. I noticed some things. The whole ESPN and the media in general, they pay people to do things that they want them to do and say things that they cannot say. For instance, most white commentators who get in there, who have a job or have a position of power, they want to talk bad about African Americans. They want to talk bad about women. So what they do is they'll hire somebody that looks like the person they want to talk about and allow them to talk about them while they give them the script. That's what Fox News do. That's what CNN does, right? If they want to talk about women issues, they'll find two women to argue on there. They do the same thing with sports. Skip Bayless, he wanted to talk about athletes, particularly football and basketball, boxing, and most athletes in America's sports are black. And so he could not criticize them because they would call him racist. He couldn't criticize a woman, so they'll get a woman on there to talk about it because that's misogynistic. And that's what they do. I heard Jason Whitlock talk about this recently. We're basically saying him and Stephen A. Smith started in journalism around the same time. But the reason why Stephen A. Smith is where he's at is because he's willing to do things that other people are not willing to do. Stephen A. Smith is a clown. He's never right on the stuff that he says. And a lot of times, I was wondering, what stands him apart from everybody else? Well, he breaks stories. I thought about that. These stories are meant to be broken because someone in the locker room has to tell him these stories. So therefore, they want these stories out, and they pretend that Stephen A. Smith is a great journalist, but they feed him information because they want this out to the public. Stephen A. Smith, you remember when he went off a script back in 2015-ish or whenever Ray Rice was playing. And he went off of the script of Disney and he started talking about Ray Rice and the girl that he hit, allegedly. Well, it was a video out, so it's not alleged. So he said maybe the girl did something to provoke it. And he almost got suspended and lost his whole career. Once he came back from that suspension, he was a yes person. So it's just so interesting, which I'm not going to talk about. I'll call it Cody. The whole world is, forcing these Cody and these, I like to say vacations. I'm not going to say the word because, they're cracking down on that stuff. But he's really pushing the Cody right now. And he's talking about these players. And I thought we're not allowed to talk about this, but only you can't talk about it if you oppose the narrative of what's going on in this world right now. So he get to go on his show and have these long segments of why you should take Cody in the vacation. And shouts out to Kyrie Irving, because what is he going to be known for? Taking the shot that I heard Jay Williams say so eloquently. He took the shot, and that was his legacy, because we're talking about sports. The legacy is what you do on the field, what you do in the ring, this heroics that you do. He beat a team that was arguably one of the best teams ever, Golden State Warriors. 73 wins in the season, and they were supposed to be unstoppable, and he hit the game-winning shot to win the championship. But right now, he's one of the most hated players in the NBA right now because of his stance. But you didn't say this when George Floyd passed away and he bought family a house. He was spending money. He was doing activist things, right? You didn't say he was a bad guy. He didn't want to play in a bubble. All of a sudden, you have a problem with that. And at the time, nobody at that point had any vacations, if you will. He was a heroic guy when he was playing basketball. So now he wants to make a choice with his life, what he wants to do with it. Again, for me, you do what you want to do. This is America. This is your decision if you want to do it or not. He chose not to do it. Now he's the villain. I like that saying with Batman when he says, basically, you're the hero. If you live long enough, you'll be the villain, because that is the truth. Stephen A. Smith said this back in the day. I did a video about it with Colin Kaepernick and the stance he took. And so that's why I'm like, who is Stephen A. working for? Because he's always taking a stand for the establishment. He took a stand basically saying Colin Kaepernick needs to shut up and just play football. So that's why I know you're getting paid millions of dollars to speak for the higher ups. And I understand, because if you think about any time you use money, you're paying for something. So if you're rich, you're going to pay for this person to say what you want them to say. If you notice, anybody in the media, any show like that, is scripted. They're reading from a teleprompter that's not even written by them. They're just a face. They're getting paid to report this news. You ever watch that video where every news station is the same? They say the same words. If you go up north and you go down south, at the same times, they're playing the same shows at the same time. So these people are getting paid for it. And Stephen A. Smith is a clown. He needs to be called out. I'm going to call him out on a lot of my videos, because he is bad for business. He is bad for the media. But it's not his fault. Some of it is because he's taken the blue pill, red pill, whatever you want to call it, for the bag, because they own him. And he's fine with that. It's kind of turned me off from sports on how these players are. Back in the day, you didn't know how these players are. But now this social media stuff is really changing my views about these athletes. Most people be looking up to these people. Now, I see why they said don't look up to these people, because a lot of them are evil. Tell me what you think about this whole situation with Stephen A. Smith, this clown self, and tell me what you think about Kyrie Irving. Now, like I said, I'm riding with Kyrie Irving and most people who want to make a decision on their own life. I'm not going to talk about what, the media wants to let you talk about, because they're trying to bully us. But I am for free thinkers. Do what you want to do. It's your life. As long as we're not affected by it, and obviously we're not, because when they wanted to make money and they put you in the bubble, they didn't give a crap if you had vacation. All these guys, all these people out here who had to work during this time, trying to, be an essential worker, they didn't care. They called you a hero. But now, when they want to force you to do something, they don't care about your family. They're trying to say, hey, you don't need the money. No, better yet, they say, you need the money. I know you're going to do what I say, or you can't work, which is unconstitutional, and they know it. So I don't like it. Again, tell me what you think about this video. Leave a comment below, and I'll see you on the next video.